Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Gamestack Podcast, episode 13, When You're a Professional Pirate. I am your co-host, Vendertron, and joining us on this lovely Friday evening is Rick.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
And the lovely, the talented, the beautiful Miss Charlene.
Hello, hello. I love how I get all this fanfare and you're like, also Rick.
This is Rick.
is here.
Rick's here.
He's
Oh,
a
by the
dude.
way, Rick's here. So they have left me at the helm of tonight's show, you guys. So hopefully I don't, set it ablaze, like the last time and the time before that, and the time before that. But before we get started, I just want to mention that, if you're catching the show live for the first time, welcome. First of all, and please hit the follow button so you can get notifications of when we go live. And if you are returning to the podcast once again, welcome back. And for everybody watching, please feel free to host the show here on Twitch while we're live. It helps get the show and the channel out there, and it really helps us get our names out into the Twitch community. And we do realize, it's been quite a lengthy time since our last show. So we're very excited to bring you all sorts of musings this evening. Before we get started, do you guys have anything that you want to mention?
Working on it now.
Righto. I'll just move on to our 5-star reviewer shoutouts.
Yes.
We have one 5-star reviewer shout out from Quiet Dan 44 from the UK. He says, absolutely awesome, so informative and entertaining. Please do not stop. So thank you, Quiet Dan, for that 5-star. If you want to leave us a 5-star reviewer shout out, how can people do that, Shalene?
If you would like to leave us a 5-star review shout out, just go to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. It's very simple. You can
it's
do
5
that.
stars, not 4.
5 stars. 5 stars. That's only because it won't let you give us 6 stars, 8 stars, 10 stars, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It won't let you give us any of those things.
Side note, did you guys know that actors have to pay $30,000 to get their star?
No way!
On the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
That's a ripoff. So it's like the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. You advertise in Good Housekeeping, you get the seal of approval. You pay and you get your star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
You're literally paying just a huge administrative fee. It's just a hugely inflated administrative fee.
That's awful. It's so awful.
That just makes me
before we get
sad.
started, hello to everybody in the chat. Joseph Tao, Formal, Joshy, Almost Ghost, Pantagrulia. Hi guys, welcome. Happy Friday. A little bit of an overview of what we're gonna. Oh, Rick, did you
I was gonna say it's ready now.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm so excited.
What's ready? What's happening?
We started a GoFundMe. I'm gonna put the link in.
Oh, right. Big announcement. Big news, guys. You're going to love this.
Oh, this is the first time that We Just Love Games has sold out.
Yes.
We did sell out.
It is for a good cause, though. A very good cause.
Very good cause. Why don't you tell the people what the cause is all about, Rick?
Why don't you give us a sample of what the good people will be helping us with?
Oh, God, that's
so
terrible.
awful.
Yeah. Our unofficial 4th host of this podcast has always been, I think, since
Fallout Off the Record.
Since Fallout Off the Record has been my squeaky chair. And I was actually talking about it the other day to my daughter, who said, it's keeping me up at night, and it's starting to annoy me.
It's keeping me up at night.
It is. It's like, Daddy, could you please stop squeaking your chair? I'm like, I can't. Like, it's seriously not anything, but it's just the chair. And then I was saying to Vendor and Shalene here that it's starting to actually annoy me. They're like, we should start a GoFundMe. And I was like, we should.
Oh, man.
So, I'm posting the link in chat right now.
That is incredible.
Oh,
I love
my
it
gosh.
so much.
For those of you listening, it's www.gofundme.com/ Get Rick a new damn
Oh
chair.
man, your
Yes.
profile picture, Rick.
Yes. Get Rick a new damn chair.
Oh gosh, your profile picture, you guys.
It is a $100 goal. Maybe we can meet that $100
I
this
don't know.
evening before the show is over. Who knows, you guys? Who knows?
Look
We're
at
gonna
this,
put it out on Twitter.
Stares into your soul.
That is like, I could stand at any angle of the room, and your face would just be glaring into my soul.
Oh man, guys! Even if you would never ever donate to this mostly joking GoFundMe, please
Mostly
click
joking.
this link. Please click this link so you can see Rick's profile photo.
Honestly, it is pretty much a joke, but
No, well, hey, we here at We Just Love Games are all about quality improvement, and part of making the podcast better is getting rid of the squeaky chair. So
it is starting to really bug me. After what, like 5 years? I got this when I moved into this house, so yeah, it's 5 years old.
But
Wow.
seriously, though, you gotta have some sort of like back spinal deformity from having that chair for so damn long.
I do have a really deep curve. Maybe it has something to do with this nice $70 Walmart chair.
So,
Well, yes,
for
probably.
the audio folks, this link is gofundme.com/getRickAnewDamnChair.
There's
Yes.
hyphens between all of it too.
Hyphens, yes, hyphens. Anyways, on with the show. A little bit of an overview of what we're going to bring you this evening. It's generally a slow time for gaming news right now, but we do have a few. I think Shalene has a few things that she wants to chat about. We're going to talk about some of our gameplay. I played the Council, which so good.
Ooh.
Rick and Shalene have lots of Sea of Thieves shenanigans to chat about.
Mhm.
We are going to cover the much anticipated Gamestack challenge that you have all been patiently waiting for, and we have not delivered on for the past 2 weeks. And
Past
we-
5 weeks, maybe.
we'll go with 2
At
because
least
it sounds
4.
better. We've got a new challenge for you, and we're going to cover some listener emails, and then we'll do a recap and see where we're at with Rick's GoFundMe. Before capping the night off with some outro and announcements.
I have one more surprise too towards the end of the show, but we'll get there.
Oh, excellent. I'm excited. Oh, I love coming in right at the end of the gong because I just have no idea what's going on. It's great.
I'm so glad this isn't the Gong Show because none of these shows would actually make it past the 30-second.
Oh, I know. It would.
Oh my God, that's total missed up. Do you think there's a podcast named The Gong Show?
There was actually a show called The Gong Show.
You know, when we were looking for names for the podcast, guys, remember when we looked up Trash Fire Podcast? And that's actually a thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that.
Missed opportunity.
Dumpster Fire also taken. Yes. Anyways, take away the news, Shalene.
So we are actually going to open up with an item that Rick brought to the table, and take it away, Rick.
Oh, okay.
This is just like
Way to pass the buck,
I
Shalene.
was gonna say, yeah. No, actually, my wife brought this to my attention. I had heard little bits of rumors about this in the past, but Spyro is getting redone. Spyro Reignited is the new remake, and they're redoing all of all 3 of the games: Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon. They're doing all 3, remaking them out, and it's going to be out September 21st, 2018. For the PlayStation 4. I think it's going to be interesting. It looks awesome. I mean, it looks incredible, like so much better than the original PlayStation version. And for those of you who were into Spyro and platformer games, check this one out. It looks cool. I think you're going to like it. I know my wife has been super. I don't know if she was more excited for this or if she was more excited for our wedding day.
Oh, really?
It's a close call.
Priorities,
Wow.
Rick. Priorities.
Fire breathing dragon, wedding. But yeah, so that's going to be out, and like I said, it looks pretty cool. I don't really know the ins and outs. They pretty much have it on pre-order right now. Let's see how much it's going to be.
Is it going to be as trolly as Spyro 2 and Spyro 1? Sorry.
What do you mean?
Like the treetops like go to a whole new wave of Dark Souls of video games stupidity where it's like
Oh,
you know what I
I
mean?
have no idea, but I can tell you On a completely unrelated note, that it's $39 for all 3 games for a completely redesigned, revamped game. 3 of them. I think that's not bad.
Mhm.
Good. So, you guys presumably have played some Spyro. If, like me, you don't have the nostalgia goggles, is this going to be something to be interested in?
Do you like platformers?
I do. I love platformers.
Yeah, I mean, Spyro is one of the most famous ones. I mean, it was like that and Crash Bandicoot were the two
Yeah.
like heavy hitters for the PlayStation.
I know a
I
lot of
was
really excellent people that I follow on Twitter have been losing their minds over this. Just
I just can't wait to see who they replace Clancy Brown with.
Clancy Brown.
No, oh, never mind. Never mind.
I wasn't that big of a Spyro guy. I was a Banjo-Kazooie dude.
Mm,
Yeah, like
there it is.
the better one. Anyway, so Spyro's coming out. That was the only thing I had to contribute to the news. Other than that, it was kind of slow the last couple weeks.
it really was. There was not much news that I wanted to talk about. Shout out to Joseph Tao for helping to compile the news for us every week so we don't miss anything. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is that the PS4 exclusive Spider-Man game has a release date. It's going to be out on September the 7th. Now, have you guys been following this one?
No. But then again, I am less than a big fan of Marvel. So
Yeah. I am not a huge Marvel fan myself either. I do enjoy the occasional superhero, but I think this game looks amazing. Let me just I can play the trailer for you, Vendertron, if you would like, real quick here. Do you want to see it? No.
Oh, no, it's okay. Because then we have to sit through this trailer.
That's right. We are doing a podcast, but
Yeah.
it looks really good. It looks like a really excellent game. They have mentioned that it will look and run a little better on PS4 Pro, but it is locked at 30 FPS. And Mary Jane will be a playable character, which sounds pretty rad to me. And will there be microtransactions? Hell no, was the response. So that's,
I love this wave of nope, not gonna happen.
I can get behind that. You can take selfies with civilians and high five them. Game of the year, right there. Sounds great. So it looks like a great game. I recommend checking it out. So
Well, if it is this from the same maker as the Arkham games?
no, it's not. I forget who is making it. Is it Insomniac? Yeah, it's Insomniac. So,
Okay.
yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was Arkham. I was gonna say if it's anything like the Arkham games, we'll probably be okay.
I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a winner.
Insomniac made some really good games that I liked, and I cannot remember what they were.
They have made
Actually,
some great games.
They made Spyro.
There you go. I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, circling back around there. But no, there was something, Ratchet and Clank. That's it. I liked the Ratchet and Clank games for the PlayStation 2. But so man, this is a big year for Insomniac. All the Spyros are getting remade. They're making a new I was gonna say Sonic, but that's Spider-Man. It's a little different than Sonic.
They did Sunset Overdrive. That was a good
I
one.
never played that.
I played a very small amount of it.
What was it?
It was like a kind of an apocalypse game, but like the thing it had was its movement was really good. So it was an Xbox exclusive, so a lot of people missed it.
I feel like Sunset Overdrive should have been like a synthwave based kind of game. Because like it's what it sounds like. But anyway.
I want to listen to Synthwave.
Uh-oh. I'll send you something later. Actually, yeah, I'll send you something later. But anyway.
Okay, guys. So we're doing a podcast here, guys.
Right. Forgot about that.
Doing a podcast. So while we're talking about PlayStation, PSVR has gotten a price cut. It's going to be $100 cheaper. So if you are looking to get a PSVR, now's the time.
Now, why is that?
Probably because they're not selling any. Would be my guess.
Yeah.
The Skyrim bundle is going to be $349.99. That comes with the camera and the Move controllers. The Doom bundle is going to be $299.99. That one comes with the camera, I think not the Move controllers, though.
Almost Ghost in the chat says, "Oh wait, what? This is a podcast?"
Oh, I know, right? I know.
Woo.
Yeah. So
The picture they chose for this article on Kotaku is like just the most unflattering triple chin photo they could pick.
yeah. It's
I'm
pretty
all about
special,
that triple
but
chin, guys.
that person doesn't even know that they have the
Oh
triple
my
chin
God!
because
Look at that triple.
Yeah.
They are enjoying the world of
Okay, guys.
Skyrim.
Everyone,
Triple chin to
show
double
the
chin.
world.
Triple chin to double chin.
Okay, show the world your triple chin. You can do it.
But
Actually,
Joseph,
I'm not doing that, Vendertron. I worked really hard to avoid this kind of problem. You know, there's layers of contour here, like
so much contour.
Joseph Tao says in the chat that a new model is supposed to be coming out in the next year or so, so price drop makes sense if a new model is to be announced at E3.
You know, it's funny that you should say that because I was thinking it, but I didn't want to say it, and now that somebody has said it, I always feel like Sony drops the price on a product before they're launching a new one.
that is extremely sensible, you guys.
It's good business.
Yeah, that really makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it creates hype.
I really want to try VR, but I don't know.
I know. I almost bought it a couple months ago with Fallout.
I actually had an order placed for a PSVR because there was a sale. There was like a glitch on the Toys R Us website, but they sold out of them before they could fulfill mine. It was actually a really funny thing because there were these baby shoes and the baby shoes were on sale for like buy one get one 50% off. But the glitch made it so that you bought the baby shoes and you could get anything on Toys R Us's website for 50% off.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh, nice.
Maybe that's why they're going bankrupt.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. R.I.P.
A lot of
Toys R
companies are
Us.
actually filing for Chapter 11 this year.
Yeah, well, we don't have to get into that today, but I'm sure there's reasons.
So, you know what else is going straight to hell? Xbox
Pot
One.
stocks?
Xbox
Oh,
One.
wait, what?
Going straight to hell. I'm doing a segue here, Vendertron. Gamestack's 2017 Game of the Year, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, will be available on Xbox One April 11th. That's next week for $29.99. So, if you missed this because it was not on the Xbox, now you have no excuses. You need to play Hellblade.
And for those of you who still live in Canada, it's still $50.
Goodness. You Canadians.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Poor
For
Canadians.
it being a Game of the Year, I still haven't finished it.
Yeah.
I'm too scared to go back to it.
I love that it was our Game of the Year and only 33% of the hosts have in fact completed it.
Oh,
I
those
will
statistics,
likely
Shalene.
purchase it once more for achievements.
You know, I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish it this weekend. I'm gonna
This
start
game
and
is so
finish it this
good.
weekend.
Okay,
So
Rick.
good. I kind
Stop
of want to
it.
stream it. Maybe I'll stream a little bit of Hellblade.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So, if you don't have $29.99 to be spending on video games, or $59.99 if you're Canadian, there are some games you can get for free. Let's talk about April's free games. If you
Indeed.
are a PlayStation Plus member, you can get Mad Max and Trackmania Turbo for PlayStation 3, In Space We Brawl, and Toy Home. Those sound like some real gems. As usual, the PS3 titles tend to not sound that exciting. For PS Vita, 99 Vitas and Qbert Rebooted. And that one is cross-buy for PlayStation 3 and also PlayStation 4. Xbox Games with Gold. If you're an Xbox Games with Gold member, April 1st through the 30th, you can get a copy of The Witness. The Witness is a really great game. I highly recommend that you get that for free. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, also very good. You can get that April 16th through May 15th and backwards compatible with Xbox One. Cars 2 will be available April 1st through 15th, and Dead Space 2 will be available April 16th through the 30th. Someday I will play Dead Space 2, guys. I don't do super well with the scary games. It took me years to get through Dead Space. Took me years to get through it.
Dead Space, I think, is a lot worse than Dead Space 2.
Dead Space 2, I started it, actually, and I made it like maybe 20 minutes, half an hour in, and I was like, no, I can't handle this right now. So
Just can't do it.
couldn't do it. I'm so
Oh.
bad with the scary games. And while we are on this free games train, I think Rick, you had something to give away here.
Yes, I did. By the way, vendor, do you have the link handy? Or do you? Or I
I'm
mean,
working. Yeah. No, I don't. Actually, the answer is no, I don't.
well, we don't need that. All we need to do is pick a name.
Yes,
True.
I'm just numbering people here, and for feasibility purposes this evening, we are only going to choose people from within our chat room and not our Discord. Sorry, Discord people. If you want to join our Discord, all you got to do is send us a personal message, and we'll make sure you get in there. Normally, you do get perks, but because we kind of did this last minute, the
Yes.
perk really goes to those people who are in the chat live with us right now. So we've got 14 people on our list. And so I guess I'll pull up a random number generator here.
So while he's doing that, real quick, I want to touch back on some gaming stuff. Mousetrap in the chat is talking about how he's playing Far Cry 5. And I asked him how are all the glitchy vehicles. And I don't know if you guys know this, but on Reddit, there has been since launch day on Far Cry 5, and it's actually kind of been helping them in some regard. There are so many physics glitches in that game that have been permeating subreddit game physics and subreddit games, and they're hysterical. Like somebody like gently closes the door in a van, and all of a sudden it just like tornadoes across the map. And it so if you get a chance, go to r/game physics and r/games and just look for Far Cry 5 gifs. They are ridiculous. It's like, honestly, if I were to judge by just the glitch gifs alone, I would have guessed it's more broken than New Vegas has been.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys were saying that it's worse than some of the Bethesda material we've seen.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's hysterical. But in all the comments, people are like, I am buying the game because of this.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow, that's like probably not the way that they planned it to go, but I bet you the developers are like, we'll take it.
oh, they're absolutely
It's working for us. Just let it go, guys.
Man, they're so beautiful. I mean, like, it's just like one guy went AFK while he was filming this thing, and all of a sudden just chaos went up. Like a vehicle sitting still just like flew in the air and then came down and exploded. And guys are like moonwalking across the map, and it's just ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, so we do have a winner, and the winner is
And what game are we giving away?
oh
Yeah. The winner for Rick's old chair is
Look, I never do these giveaways. I forget how these go. I stumbled upon a free copy of Mafia 3, including all DLC, and that is what we're giving away tonight.
cool.
So,
I liked
hopefully-
Mafia 3. It was okay.
It was
I
fun.
really like the realistic driving mode. Oh my goodness, that realistic driving mode. I can spend hours just cruising around the town. Just so good. Maybe one of the best licensed music soundtracks ever.
Oh my
as
gosh,
well.
yeah. I mean, the whole game, the story mode is worth it just for the cinematics and the music they play. I can't freaking talk.
Well, I was going to say and the semantics, but
The game is great. I've played it a lot, beat it once, started it again, of course. And the guns are fun. But yeah, so this is the game and all the DLC for free. And the winner is Electrical Skateboard.
Yay.
There you go.
Congratulations, Electrical Skateboard. Is that a new visitor to our chat room?
I believe so. It doesn't look familiar at all, and I haven't even seen them talking all night in the chat.
Well,
yes,
welcome
so
aboard,
we hate to
Electrical
point you out,
Skateboard.
even if you're lurking, but congratulations.
Yes. And if you're still here, how are they gonna get the thing?
You can whisper them the link.
Ah, okay, great. I will do that now.
Here's the link.
Yeah. www. I gotta go get the link, so continue the podcast without me for a minute.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
So, do you guys want to do this now? I was supposed to go over this with you before we did the show. Do you want to do this now, or do you want to drop this to the emails section?
This is definitely probably good for emails, but it's kind of news.
Okay, we're going to do it right now because Rick is busy.
Okay,
So, a
that's
lot
okay.
of people have been a little bit salty and a little bit disappointed in Sea of Thieves. And we're going to have a lot of nice things to say about that game in this podcast. So, in the interest of balance, I thought I would drop in some selections from a little mini rant that we had from Joseph Tao that was ensconced in a recent news drop. So, he says, why can't we bury treasure to hide it from other crews? No mini games, no fishing, no tutorial that explains the ships and inventory. Why do you play as a privateer and not a pirate? You do jobs for other people in factions and they pay you for it. You don't hunt and collect gold and treasure and hoard it. You're a ship for hire to run deliveries. Why don't you have a persistent ship from one instance to instance so that you don't have to restock on items all over again each time you play or join a new server? The more I think about this game, the more I see the potential of what it could be, and it just makes me angry that people will settle to play the skeleton or foundation of a game rather than make them improve before you buy it. The gamers deserve a better game than they released. I think a lot of these issues come from the fact that servers do a weird instancing method behind the scenes that load people in servers dynamically and try to get people to run into other crews. I think that doesn't allow for a lot of permanent or even long-lasting changes to the world to occur, so you as a crew can't really make a difference at all in the sandbox. And I thought that really summed up a lot of the problems that I've been hearing that people were complaining about Sea of Thieves. So, yeah.
Well, I think that it is a early access game in disguise. That said, I'm glad that I paid the money that I did for the game because in a way I feel that the developers are accountable to deliver more and better game when it comes to Sea of Thieves. I'm hoping that that's the case. That's putting a lot of faith in Rare. Rick, what do you think?
I mean, all right. There's no other game out there like it, for one, that I can think of. Two, they didn't lie about anything up front. They were like, here's our game, and you can pay $60 for it. Everyone saw everything in the beta, and you can pay for it or not. And so they didn't pull a Hello Games. And I think, excuse me, for a game that you're spending $60 for that has no microtransactions in it yet, that you're trying to keep Rare's lights on with, I think they're trying to get this ball rolling. This is like a new game concept. Yes, it's a sandbox. I get that. And yes, it's an MMO-ish type thing. But this is kind of a new concept of a sandbox where you're boating everywhere rather than driving or walking. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily PvP, kind of is. So it's like one of those things that give it time. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that could be improved, but that just means they've created something awesome that you can create into something better.
That's exactly, you know what I mean? I think you nailed it there.
No one's complaining about fixing it. That's the good thing. No one's complaining about fixing it because it's broken as it is. It's just missing things.
It's not broken. It's just lacking sustenance, or substance.
Right.
So I think we're kind of experiencing a little bit of a social phenomenon here with Sea of Thieves, because for the last, I don't know, maybe I want to say decade, we have really experienced games being launched in early access for really cheap, that are often broken or problematic, not working, and gamers have kind of stumbled their way through with the developer as the game develops out of early access. And then it's kind of launched and they've sold it at a higher price when it's launched in full mode. But who in their right mind who has paid money for an early access game is going to pay the full price when they've already bought it in early access and they have access to all the perks? And I think the model that Sea of Thieves is adapting here is really smart because they're charging full price for the game at the get-go, which, one, like you said, keeps the lights on. But two, it makes the developers accountable for delivering the quality of game that people are expecting it to become.
Yeah.
And so I really hope that that's the case. here, and I feel like it will, because they have delivered on their promise in the beginning in saying that there's going to be no microtransactions, and they have delivered a quality game. I mean, the water in this game, you guys, is unlike any other type of water I've seen in any other video game.
Oh yeah, it's the best water I've
The
ever seen.
the game mechanics are absolutely out of this world. Out of this world amazing. Everything flows just so well. The servers are flawless. They've designed them in a way, Rick, you were saying something about how they've designed them so that it's dynamic.
Okay.
I didn't say anything about that.
Well, I think maybe I was reading it. They've designed the servers in a way so that you actually switch back and forth between different servers through your gameplay without even knowing it, so that you actually don't encounter the same players repeatedly all the time through one sitting of gameplay. And that in it of itself takes the load off the servers so that they're capable of running them longer and smoother. But it also allows for a more seamless game experience when playing a sandbox. So that in and of itself is also a perk. It does have its drawbacks, but I think we've got some growing pains, and I am ready and willing to stick it out. What do you think, Shalene?
I have a couple of takes on this. The first is that I will compare it to No Man's Sky. And my take on the No Man's Sky situation was that people expected a different game than they received. You know, they were, and that was sort of, they were led to believe that there would be maybe some other things in No Man's Sky. But No Man's Sky had some good things going for it. A lot of people on this podcast have enjoyed No Man's Sky.
This guy.
And you have to take the game for what it is sometimes instead of for what you wish it was. And if you take Sea of Thieves for what it is, it's a pretty darn fun time with your friends. And my second take on this is that I was initially a bit peeved when I found out that it was a $60 game instead of a $30 game. Because from what I had seen, I believed that it should be a $30 game. I still do, frankly.
I do still think it is a little bit overpriced.
But
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I think, you guys, that Microsoft maybe overpriced it intentionally.
Oh, absolutely.
To sell Games Pass subscriptions, because Sea of Thieves is included in Xbox Games Pass, which is in the neighborhood of $10 a month. I don't remember if it's $8.99 or $9.99 a month. And that is how I actually have acquired Sea of Thieves. I picked up Games Pass, and when I did that, I learned that there were a bunch of great games that I would like to play that are on Games Pass. And I have no regrets. I have no regrets about picking up Games Pass, guys. I think that's a totally reasonable price for what you're getting. There are a lot of great games on Games Pass. And in terms of the new releases of Xbox exclusives that will be coming to Games Pass, you only need basically 2 a year, 2 games a year to cover the cost of Games Pass. So that's just my take on it. I think it works for me, and it won't work for everyone, and it doesn't have to work for everyone, but it works for me.
I think that we're just the industry has created a culture of gamers that just expect everything for nothing.
Well,
and like with the early access games, you know, like I don't know.
I saw an image that summed it up quite actually clearly. Back when games were made and like DLC was still a thing, like the image was like games like back in the day, and it said $60 game, and it showed a picture of a cheeseburger with lettuce, tomato, and all this other stuff, and it said DLC, and then it showed a drink and fries, and then the bottom picture was like games nowadays, and it was like $60 main game, and it was like 2 buns, and then like the meat, the cheese, the lettuce and tomatoes and everything like that was all like DLC, and then like the ketchup was like the PlayStation exclusive, and then like the mustard was like the Xbox, like if you buy it on the Xbox you get this, and then like how everything is so dissected. nowadays, that like in order to make the whole sandwich, you have to end up paying for all the DLC and like your day one patches to fix the broken things. And then, it's like, why does this game feel so incomplete? Oh, the DLC completes it. Well, I got to pay $15 for that. I just paid $60 for the game. Or, like, a few people in the chat were complaining because of lack of content. But how many people who complain, I'm not saying anyone in the chat, but I'm just saying people in general who complain that this game doesn't have any content. How many people went out, complained about this not having content, and bought Call of Duty whatever for $60 just to play the multiplayer content, which is just multiplayer? Like, and it's nothing wrong with it. It's just like Shalene said, if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I think there's enough content to keep my mouth watering for more, while feeling that it was worth paying Rare $60 for the game, because I believe in Rare. I've played their games in the past and they're awesome. So yeah, I got some confidence behind this company. So
I have confidence as well. One thing that really changed it, I think, for me, is playing it with you guys.
Yeah.
That was a big part of it. That was a big part of it. Had I went into this game solo, and just played solo all the time, I probably would have lost interest immediately. But the experience that you have with the friends that you have when you play it really makes it unique every single time.
I really wonder how many of the people who hate the game
is there
hate
a correlation?
it because they're playing it as a solo experience.
Yeah. That's an interesting scientific theory you have.
Yeah.
I actually was telling these guys, so the day that I played, I guess we're kind of digging in a little bit of gameplay, but the first time I played Sea of Thieves, it was 4 of us all playing.
Here's a perfect segue.
Yes, let's roll on into it.
Great, here we go. So the first time I booted up Sea of Thieves, I bought it, I did. And the first time I played it and booted everything up, I was playing with Vendor and the 2 other Moose Knuckles up from Canada. So it was 4 of us on a galleon, right? And it was my first experience playing this game with, multiple people. And I remember we were like drinking grog and we were getting drunk and we were trying to shoot each other and we were stumbling everywhere. And then we went on sea adventures and got chests and made gold, and we'd fought pirates, and we fought another galleon and we won. We sunk their boat and we killed them all. And I remember thinking I had more fun playing Sea of Thieves day 1 than I had more fun playing Fallout 4 day -1, because I got it the day before it came out. I had more fun playing Sea of Thieves than I did with Fallout 4. And it struck me, I was laughing and just was like, this is the most fun I have had playing a game in probably a year and a half.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, it was the most fun I ever had playing the hurdy-gurdy.
They play underwater, by the way.
I know, it's so good.
So that in my first experience was amazing, but because everyone has been so busy the last 2 weeks, I've played a lot of solo Sea of Thieves, and I've given that the good old college try, and I actually find myself enjoying it as well. It's absolutely terrifying to play by yourself because you're this little sloop, and this galleon rolls up on you, and you're by yourself, so you got to fiddle with the sail, turn, fiddle with the sail, turn, and try to shoot at the same time, and it's very difficult, but it is also a lot of fun. I had one story. Yeah, so I'm at this dock. I'm at the dock unloading my chests. I've got 2 left on my boat. This little sloop pulls up, and there's 2 guys. And I said, hey, I'm good. I'm not going to attack you. Pirate courtesy or privateer courtesy. Don't shoot while at port. Good, right? Well, they opened fire on my boat. They just park right behind it and unloading from 10 feet away on my boat. And I'm like, stop, just knock it off. And so what I do is from the docks really far away, I use my pistol, kill the guy shooting, maybe they'll stop, So the second guy comes down and starts firing cannonballs at my boat. So I run on my boat, patch up a couple holes, bail some water out, grab a chest, and run that up on shore, because they're not even trying to get the treasure out of my boat. They're just shooting it. So I run out, get, cash in my chest, run back, kill the second guy. By this time, the first guy has spawned back, and I'm on my boat, and he runs on my boat, And he's just kind of standing there looking at me, and I'm like, "Can you just stop?" And they're like, sure. So I finish patching my boat up, bailing out of the water. I've got one chest left, and then he starts cranking the anchor up on my boat. I'm like, "What is this guy doing?" So I walk up, blunderbuss him to death. And by this time, the second guy respawns in and starts shooting my boat again with a cannonball. So I'm like, "This is ridiculous." I go sell my chest, come back, shoot him in the face. And eventually like get my boat out of there and like just leave them behind. Or no, what did they do? No. I left after I sold my thing, and I'm sailing away trying to get away and repair my boat. They start chasing me, and so I'm fighting them, they're fighting me. They blow me off my boat, which sucks, and my boat just sails on down the way, and then they sail off, and I'm there floating in the middle of the ocean. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go find these guys. They haven't killed me yet. I've killed them both twice, so I'm still up on that regard.
Right.
I find my boat. I take the mermaid, find my boat. I go find them again. I find them. And as I'm getting up to their boat and ready to fire, their boat actually physics glitches and goes like straight up in the air.
Like my planet needs me. Like
it just went straight up in the air. And I was like,
man, that's great.
Okay. And at that time I saw, like, as soon as it did that, about a mile in front of me, I saw another boat blip into existence, and it was their boat. So I'm like, so I sail up to it and just blow it away. And as it's sinking, I was hoping that they respawned in as soon as they saw their boat sinking. Anyway, the last tale I'll tell you of my open seas, some guy attacked me, so I dove off my boat, got on his boat, killed him, turned his boat full. I had it going at full chat, as Shalene would say, full fluff.
Yeah,
the sails were at
full fluff.
Oh gosh.
See, you and I get it. She didn't. Anyway,
I didn't, and now I'm trying to frantically come up with a different word.
No, I like it. It's very Shalene savvy.
Full poof, perhaps. I don't know.
So I turned this thing on full fluff right into some rocks, and as it's heading for these rocks, I'm taking all of his golden chickens that were on the deck and throwing them in the ocean.
Oh, that's so good. So you're such a dink.
So I throw all of his stuff in the ocean, and I jump off the boat. At the same time, it smacks the rocks, and it's going down. And as I'm floating in the waves, swimming towards my mermaid, I look up at his boat, and he's just standing at the edge of his boat looking at me. Just like, you got me. And I was like, so like, it was fun because it's like, all right, if you're going to attack me, I'm not even going to cash in your loot. I'm just going to throw it all in the ocean and wreck your boat. But I have been killed a lot in that game, or at least my boats have been sunk. Turns out I'm actually pretty good at killing people in that game.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you're pretty good at the PvP.
But the boat, I lose my boat all the time because, again, when you're by yourself, it's hard to pilot and do everything. So I've been having a lot of fun in Sea of Thieves. I mean, I've loved pirates since I was a child, and I think maybe it's playing into that part of me. I mean, I had pirate-themed birthday parties. I loved pirates. So I'm thinking maybe it has something to, it's awakened an inner child.
It's a callback to when you were 4.
Probably, but I've been enjoying it, and most days I really feel bored while playing video games, and this has turned that all around. So
that's great.
That's all I've been playing. There's been a splash, water pun, of Ghost Recon here and there, but yeah, that's pretty much it. What about you, Vendi?
Well, I've been playing quite a slew of video games.
Quite a sloop of video games?
Yeah, quite a sloop of video games. There's I don't even know where to begin. So the council dropped March 13th, I think was the release date, and I really had only heard about this game a week before it released, and I started reading up about it and watched the trailer, and I was immediately hooked because, as you guys may already know, I am a period piece aficionado. I love everything that has to do with anything between the 1700s and the 1950s. I love just the culture and the style and the eras and the language, how people talk, and I just love everything about it. The council met that itch. It scratched that itch for me. It is a period piece game, mystery, sort of murder mystery game that is it a murder mystery? I don't know. maybe not.
I don't know, but no spoilers. I still
I'm not
haven't
gonna
gotten
no
any further
spoilers.
than I got
No
off the boat,
no
vendor.
spoilers.
I got off the boat, and that's as far as I've gotten.
Okay. So, it feels like that. It's a very mysterious game. There's a lot of different dialogue, and it's very there's a lot of branching logic in the way the game is designed. So the interactions and the dialogue that you have with certain characters will lead to certain outcomes. And the game is beautiful for being a smaller, episode series type video game. It is really nice. They've done a really nice job. One thing is I don't like the voice actor for the main character. It does not match his look. It doesn't match the feel of the game. It's a very American, very modern day sort of accent. Nothing like what you would expect to hear or see in the late 1700s. So
Hi,
that's
I am French.
yeah, it's literally like that. And I'm like, no, you kind of missed it.
It also freaks me out when they have American accents in The Witcher.
Yeah. So I'm having a little trouble getting on board with the voice actor, the main character. All the other actors, fantastic voice actors. I don't want to spoil it, but the voice actors are fantastic. Lots of history and real what's the word? Accurate characters, historical characters, which is really enjoyable. And all I have to say with the council is the end of the first episode was one hell of a cliffhanger, Shalene.
Someday I'm gonna get there. I need more time.
Oh, my hands were on my face. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Anyways, I did a full recording and I edited the entire thing and made up an episode, but it is so friggin' huge that I'm probably gonna have to cut it down and piece it out. So that's the council. I recommend getting it. It's a fun playthrough. I think some people in the chat have played it. Joseph Tao in the chat says, wouldn't the council bug you since the main character is supposed to be French but speaks like an American English? Yes, yeah. Louis Derichet, I think.
I am Louis.
Yeah, Louis Derichet is the main character's name.
Welcome to France.
Yeah, it's literally kind of like that. And I'm like,
I love it.
So
I was telling Joseph Tao in the chat, for those of you who are listening on the audio, that I hated Enemy at the Gates for that reason, because they're Russians, but they're like the enemy's at the front, and you're like, it's a British accent and it's Russians. Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah, a little bit of oversight on that one. Life is Strange. Shalene and I finished the final episode of Life is Strange, and boy, was that a tug on the heartstrings.
Oh yes, I'm very excited to play the original series with you.
Yes, that was Shalene and I. We finished our shows for the night. Yeah, that was good. I wasn't expecting that outcome. It was nice. I enjoyed it. Life is Strange is one of those games that caught me by surprise this year, you guys. I don't know if I have anything else to say on that. I'm happy of the outcome. Again, I don't want to spoil it because I know that some people haven't played it yet. So, Sea of Thieves, played Sea of Thieves, been playing Sea of Thieves, love it. I think you guys know how I feel about that. I started playing it with our other two Moose Knuckles up here in the north, 4 Mile and Chili Moose. It is fantastic to play with people. I also enjoy playing it solo. I did play it a little bit solo by myself. That was some fun. Made a new internet friend who goes by the name of Beaner Schnitz or Bean Schnitz.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Beaner Schnitzel. He is a fellow Twitch streamer, so check him out. And he was actually paired with our sloop crew. And that's how we discovered him. And so we went on in-game chat, and then we invited him onto Zoom, and he literally showed us the ropes, and we ended up playing with him for like 5 hours that night until like 2 a.m. and it was awesome.
He is fun.
he is a cool guy, like him, and glad that he is now another knuckle. So, um, yeah. So I really enjoy playing Sea of Thieves with 4 Mile and Shalene because there is no method to the madness. It's absolutely chaos. And I remember playing with 4 Mile. It was just her and I. We had a sloop, and we decided to go out on the waters and venture around. And we seen this other sloop, and we said, well, let's go plunder them. We'll attack them. It's going to be great. So we're in hot pursuit. They turned a hot corner. We ran into an island and got grounded. Well, that sucked. Then we got back on our feet. We're out on the water again, and this sloop is being attacked by a galleon. So then we thought, well, let's switch gears and go and try and help them out. So we went to attack the galleon. And as we're pulling up to the galleon, I'm playing Ride of the Valkyries on an accordion. On like the bow of the ship, and I hop off the bow of the ship onto the galleon, and I start attacking the people on the galleon. They all hop off their boat onto our little sloop and start attacking 4 Mile. Meanwhile, I'm on this galleon by myself. There's one guy down in the bottom patching holes because we blew about 6 holes in the bottom of the ship and it's sinking. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? And she's like, drive the boat to port. So I like hop on the wheel, and she's like, I'm trying to kill these guys. They're all on the sloop, and I'm dying. And she kept getting shot. And then I ended up getting shot in the galleon, and I spawned back on our sloop, and I ended up killing the guy and saved our sloop, but we sunk the galleon, and it was just so amazing. Actually, wait, we didn't sink the galleon. But what happened after that was another galleon came up, and it started attacking the galleon that we had boarded. So then what we did, we put our sails down and we hightailed it out of there. It was just the creme de la creme of experiences in that game thus far. It's been super fun. So I look forward to playing some more Sea of Thieves very soon. Okay, next on the list. I know I've got an extensive list. It's been a long time, you guys. So as you guys know, I bought a new car, or I'm buying a new car. I bought a Mini Cooper. I'm very excited about it. And I have just been like itching to get this car, and I just can't wait. So I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and driving the Mini Cooper around in Grand Theft Auto to try and get me by until June.
That's so great.
It's great. I've rekindled my love for Grand Theft Auto 5.
Cool.
It's fantastic. I love just ripping around. Stealing helicopters, driving buses, being a taxi driver, just doing whatever I want. It's entertaining. And in the dead of winter, it's nice to have a little feel of California, if you catch my drift. So that's been a lot of fun. Yes, the Issy, Captain Bones pipes up in chat. It's actually called
the Issy.
The Mini Cooper in GTA 5 is called the Weenie Issy.
Jeez,
that
they're
is
not
amazing.
like, they don't hide their contempt for things.
Oh, they never do. They never do. There is no
like,
thinly veiled contempt. There is no veil at all over the contempt.
Like the moped in Vice City. If anyone remembers what that's called, oh boy. I mean, it was like, woof.
I don't remember the moped. Vice
I'll let you discover it.
Oh, the Faggio.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Faggio.
Yeah, we'll go with that. with the zebra print leather seat. Yeah. That was
Mhm.
I just love the names of the cars that they've come up with in GTA. It's just so fantastic. And you know, you can pick out the cars. You're like, oh, that one's like a G35 Infinity, and that one's a Beamer, but it's actually like something totally random.
Right.
Yeah. The last game on my list that I've been playing is an indie game. It's called Ghost of a Tale. Basically, it is set in medieval times, and you are a mouse, and you spawn or you start. The story starts. You're a minstrel, a wandering minstrel, and you're captured and you're in a prison, and you need to look for your wife, and you have to break out of prison. Anyways, It just released this month. It's like, I think it's like $25 on Steam. It's really fun to play, you guys. You really have to think like a mouse in this game and solve puzzles, and the graphics are really nice. So I recommend playing it. I've only put about 3 or 4 hours into the game, but it's very enjoyable and it's certainly adorable. So, Shalene, I think you would really like it.
Yeah, it sounds like the kind of game that I would be into. I may have to check that out.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore. There's a lot of lore in that game. So, anyways, that's what I've been playing.
I just want to let you guys know that I'm coming up with an absorbent amount of puns for Sea of Thieves. Like, if I'm ever in the crow's nest and I see a sloop, I'll be like, "Sloop, there it is." And then, then, if water is pouring in our galleon, I'll be like, "There's galleons of water down here."
Oh no, that is so bad.
So.
I'm getting them ready.
Accordion to my compass, the galleon is portside.
Wow.
Are you hurdy-gurdy?
I'll start saying these things and I'll just see like everyone quit out.
Yeah. Our viewer count just tanked right there. Just.
Oh
Goodness.
man, the puns though. Actually, it went up. If you must
good
know.
puns. Good puns.
It's a pun cast.
So you're a pun guy, really. You know, that's so. Video games. I haven't been playing very many of them. Partly because I've been really busy, and partly because I've been reading lots of books. I've been very absorbed in reading lots of books lately. Since the last podcast, I've probably burned my way through 6 books.
Wow.
Which is a lot considering that one of them was a Brandon Sanderson behemoth. Like, I read it on Kindle, but if I had read it in hardback, it would have been like this big. Yeah. So, lots of books, lots of lovely books. I have been playing a bunch of Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, you guys. I have been playing Pocket Camp in a bit of an obsessive way lately.
Well, I saw the picture of the dancing eggs that you had posted.
Oh gracious, aren't they precious?
Was so adorable.
Cute.
Was there music?
So cute. There is no music. There's always music in the background, but there's not like specific music
for the dancing
Easter eggs. But they're so great. So great. Yeah, they've been having these events, these special events, and now they're doing multiple events at the same time. So I've been really, really getting into it. Archon's like, "Oh man, I need to check my garden." Yes, and shout out to Archon for the gifting of mini dancing eggs. So, yeah. So lots of Pocket Camp. I've been playing Detective Pikachu on the 3DS.
Yes, this just came out.
Yes, it did just come out. I'm super into it. I'm a big fan of Detective Pikachu. The very, very first opening cinematic really took me by surprise. It was much, much more sad than I was expecting to see anything in Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
Detective Pikachu as a character, I just adore. It's just such an odd pairing of having a Pikachu, you know, which are these traditionally adorable little creatures, with this hard-boiled noir detective stereotype. And Detective Pikachu speaks in this very gruff, hard-boiled voice, and he's like, "Hey, kid." And he loves coffee, and it's wonderful. He wears a little Sherlock Holmes deerstalker cap. It's so cute, you guys. It's just so cute.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I saw the trailer, and it definitely looks like not something you would expect to be any sort of Pokemon related thing.
Yeah, it's I just totally lost my train of thought there.
Oh, but you're talking about Pikachu and his raspy voice.
In terms of gameplay, Detective Pikachu is basically a bit of an adventure game. You just walk around talking to people and clicking on stuff, and it's pretty simplistic in terms of gameplay. But so far,
Archon in the chat says Detective Pikachu needs his whiskey and a smoke.
You guys, like, I that's totally the tone of Detective Pikachu. It really is.
A tincture of cocaine.
Oh my gosh.
I like that he says a tincture.
Well, that's a Sherlock Holmes throwback there.
I just love it.
But anyways,
speaking of cocaine, I have the craziest story for you guys after the show, but
guys,
not anything that has to do with like cocaine and
I
me.
did so much cocaine.
Yeah. Did a line last weekend. Whoa.
so guys, I like Detective Pikachu. I really do. And I will have some more to say about that as time goes by. Something that I have that's real annoying, though, is my my 3DS. I have the Link Between Worlds Special Edition 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the new model. It's an older model. But
it checks out.
It doesn't. Shut up! I'm telling a story! You guys!
I can't.
Sorry.
So it doesn't register that it's closed. It does the clamshell thing, and like it goes into sleep mode when you close it. Mine no longer registers all the time that it's closed. So it'll be closed and sitting on the desk by itself, and then I'll hear do 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 do.
Oh no.
And I'm like, no, shut up. So it's always, the battery is constantly dead now because it's always on. It's always on. It's never in sleep mode. So I'm really frustrated. I kind of want to replace it, but I also want the 3DS to die as a platform. I want to move on. I don't want to buy a new one.
Yeah. Joshy in the chat says you need to get it to chat with the Amazon Echo.
That's the last thing I need. When I do that, we're like 3 steps away from Terminators ruling the streets. And
You guys, I had a Barney stuffy, like a stuffed animal Barney. You know Barney, the purple dinosaur?
Yeah, we've all
Yeah.
tried it.
Yeah, I've had one. I had one when I was little, and I would put all my toys in my closet, right? And in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping, all you would hear is "Yogurt is good for you."
Oh, jeez.
Just like randomly,
This is why I didn't have any of those
man,
kinds of toys.
that's amazing.
messed. I want to be your friend. 3:00 in the morning, though during the witching hour.
No.
So I've played a bit of Sea of Thieves as well. I did a solo round on the Xbox, because Mom wanted to see the game. So we did a little solo round. It was pretty fun. She did make me shave the mustache off of my character, though.
Oh my gosh, Shalene, I want to play Sea of Thieves with your mom. That would be so much
I was showing her
fun.
my outfit, and she's like, "What is on your face?" And I'm like, "Well, I thought it was funny. You know, it let me put a mustache. It's funny." And she's like, "It's not funny. Get rid of that right now." So yeah, so I had to shave my Sea of Thieves character. It was really funny.
No. Are you going to let it grow back?
Are you kidding me?
Um,
I'm sorry, guys.
what?
I was hitting the
You
the
okay?
mute button to
Oh.
let out a burp, and I missed the mute button.
Oh dear.
Oh, I
dear.
didn't hear a burp.
Oh, good, yay! Because like
Yeah.
I was listening back to like one of our episodes, and I was like, really, I missed the mute button there too. So that was a good one.
Whoops.
So I've
Yeah.
been playing some Sea of Thieves. I've done a couple of duos with Rick. It's been a lot of fun. And it's really funny because like I'm kind of hopeless at games sometimes. That's not a surprise to you guys. And
I disagree.
Rick
but
takes things
okay.
pretty seriously sometimes, and
Me?
he's pretty good at video games, and like he's very good about putting up with my silliness. But it's a really funny juxtaposition, the way that Rick plays games combined with the way that I play games. And last night we had a great time. We had a really good round last night. So
I'm sorry I missed it, you guys.
so were we. It would have been great to have you there. But Rick has me like running the sales and stuff. I'm getting a little better at that, and
It's tough, right?
it is. It really is.
There's the science behind it.
Mm-hmm. And we had been chased away from this island that was our destination by this galleon. We were scared of them, you know? They were a big ship. We were scared of them. We ran away. We went and sold our loot, and later on we're trying to do some other things. And this same galleon takes off after us, right? And Rick's like, "Oh no." So he's directing me, and I'm running the sails, and it's going well. We're a little faster than they are. It's going really well. And we're ahead of them. And so Rick gets up on that part of the boat on the back and like waves at them. And so now they're coming for us, right? They're like not gonna let us go. And Rick says, he mentions offhand, like, "Oh, we're near the end of the map. You know, we're near the edge of the map." And I'm like, "What's at the edge of the map? Are there sea monsters?" He's like, "I don't know. You know, I've never been to the edge of the map. I know it kills you." And I tell him, "Well, what if you just sail off the edge? Like, what if there's an end and you just sail off the end, and that would be incredible." And Rick's like, "Do you want to see? Do you want to see what happens? Like, let's sail to the edge of the world." And I'm like, "Yes, we're gonna do this."
Oh.
So we're sailing to the edge of the world. We don't have anything to lose. We just sold all our loot.
Yep.
And we start playing our instruments. I'm playing the accordion. Rick's on hurdy-gurdy.
Oh my gosh.
And the seas turn blood red around us. And the water is choppy, and there are holes being knocked on our boat by the rough seas, and this galleon is still pursuing us.
What? Are you serious?
They hate us so much, they're still chasing us. And I'm standing on the prow of the ship, you know, with my accordion, and Rick has got us, like, he's playing the hurdy-gurdy. He's got us directed into the edge of the sea. And the water is
You
just,
better have been playing Ride of the Valkyries.
so blood red, and it's just, it feels mythic, you know. It feels like something legendary is going on. And
Right.
this opposing captain, they've caught up to us. They're hurling cannonballs as fast as they can. They're not hitting us. We're still full of holes. We're sinking because it's the end of the world. And this captain pulls out his sniper rifle. He hates us so much, he's trying to snipe us. And meanwhile, we're standing there together, playing our instruments, and the boat just sinks around us. We're standing on the boat, playing our instruments underwater. We're still on the deck of the boat. And the blood red sea is all around us. It's above us. And we're just like, "Man, I hope that other ship dies too." And it was one of the best moments. It was just one of the best moments. I loved it. I loved it. And
that sounds very,
But
very fun.
but wait. So our ship sinks.
mhm.
And
Right, because you're in the red zone.
But while it's sinking, we're still playing.
Mhm.
Did you tell
Underwater.
this?
Underwater.
Yeah,
Standing on the deck of the ship, completely submerged.
All you hear is the
Playing our
hurdy-gurdy under.
instruments. And we actually got an achievement for that.
yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so great! I'm gonna have to sail my ship out to the edge of the
Yeah.
flat Earth,
So
and
in chat, Sean's like playing "Near My God to Thee," I hope, which is the song they played on the Titanic as it went down.
Yeah.
So the achievement, if you go down in your boat while you're playing music, it's called a Titanic ensemble.
Yeah.
oh, that's great.
It was so good. It was just so good.
Oh,
And we
that's
actually
awesome.
ran into these guys again later because we were going back to our quest to this island, and that stupid galleon is still there, and it's the same guys, and like, we had a big plan. Rick's like, "Okay, you know, I'm gonna jump off, I'm gonna get the chest, you just sail around." I'm like, "I'm gonna die." But they actually didn't see us, so we were able to sneak in and get our chest and get the heck out of there. And it was a really good time. I've definitely been enjoying Sea of Thieves, and
Nice.
that's my gameplay. So
Well, that sounds like we've all had a real string of some great gameplay over the last few weeks. Shall we move on to our Gamestack challenge, you guys?
Mm-hmm.
we shall. And before I click over into that, I just wanted to say shout out to Mike the Liar. We've missed ya.
Yeah, welcome back, my friend. You're always welcome here. Last time,
Oh, did you
our
say
last
Mike?
Mm-hmm.
It's Mike.
Mike.
It's from,
Mike,
Well, I've
yes, it's
always
from Elder
called him Mike the
Scrolls.
Liar.
I have
Mike.
always said
Yeah.
make, so
Mike the
So-
Liar from Elder Scrolls. Oh god.
I apologize.
I know where it's from. I just don't know how to pronounce it.
He's never complained before, Rick.
Yeah, so don't start now. I think that's how it goes.
Okay.
Last time, we posed a challenge for you guys called Video Game Haikus. And so the challenge really is just that. Send us your video game haikus. We did ask and recommend that people send in creative ways of writing their haikus, whether it be, on your dad's forehead while he's having a nap on the couch, or just on the office post-it note. Who knows?
Can't wait to see these.
So here we go into our video game haikus. So what is this?
That is perfectly timed.
So the first one is Sean Aiken in the chat. He says wasteland contraptions, dump the junk and feed the forge. Voila, balls of steel.
And can we just describe his screenshot there?
So he's basically got his follow character standing what looks behind some sort of guardrail or cement beam or something, and there's two
It's a
steel cannonballs.
what are those
Yeah,
called?
cannonballs.
Not a treadmill, but like the
Conveyor belt.
that's the one. It's a
Conveyor
conveyor belt.
That's what it is. Oh, that's so good. Is that Kingsport Lighthouse? Is that where is that?
No, I forget where that's at.
Yeah.
Looks
I'm not
familiar.
sure.
It's not the lighthouse
either.
though. At least I don't think so.
Yeah, I like is that a Vim poster he's
That
got?
is Vim, so
Yes.
he's got to be
Even Far Harbor.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Thanks for sharing. Oh, this one's my favorite, you guys. Shalene, do you want to take it?
So this is a Captain Bones entry. He always does a lovely job with his entries. Defending myself, feeling naked and exposed. Probably need clothes. And this is his GTA 5 online character.
Yes.
In his boxers with a top hat and a gas mask.
And a bow tie. Don't forget the bow tie. Yeah.
Yes, the bow
I love
tie.
that his boxers are pinstripes, so they're kind of like dress boxers.
Yeah.
and it's on this beautifully embellished card with like this, Art Deco
Mhm.
sort of feel to it. Very nice.
Very nice.
It's very
Okay,
A
guys.
Clockwork
I would
Orange.
like to talk about this one. This is Mousetrap's entry, and I really liked this. This is taken from Doki Doki Literature Club. This little notebook style here. This is the style of the mini game that you play in Doki Doki.
That's incredibly
which
creative.
is really one of the only options you have in this game to make choices. You pick out words to write poetry in Doki Doki to impress the anime girls, and that's it's so clever that Mousetrap did this. I love it.
That is so meta.
Yeah. So Mousetrap's haiku. Does somebody else want to read it, or do you want me to read it?
You got it.
Take it, Shalene.
I've always felt so alone. Video games provide me with a home, with infinite worlds to explore.
That's great.
Nice.
Very good.
Right in the feels.
And Vendor, this
Ow.
one's yours.
This one's mine, you guys. Except I want someone else to read it because it sounds better.
Okay. So he's done his on a couple of Post-its, very stylishly. And I believe this was inspired by Life is Strange before this one?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
The starlight shines bright in the junkyard of broken dreams. Don't mess with Rachel. I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
That was really
I
good.
love I love that only people who have watched the Let's Play of Life is Strange or played the game will get that. But
Mhm.
that's okay.
Okay, and that's all we had for that. And Rick, I think you had one, actually. I don't have a
two.
screenshot for you. Two? Oh, well,
have
can
two.
one of them be mine?
Okay. All right. The first one yeah. So I love whoever's banging whatever that is. It's like dong.
Sorry, it's my
love it.
mic. It's my mic.
The first one, this will be mine. An ode to PUBG, I called it. Fully kitted up, I shall kill all the bad guys. Now I am dead.
Yeah.
And the next one is
so
an
appropriate.
ode to Sea of Thieves, and this one's for Shalene, I guess. On the open sea, a galleon attacks me. All the bananas.
Those are both really good, Rick. Those are great.
I love the haikus with that last line. It's always
I know.
such a plot twist, right?
I love it.
So good.
So I gave you guys 2 options for our next challenge. You guys can pick.
Well, okay. How about we let the chat choose, and then we'll go from there. So number one, first challenge, you guys. Here we go. So the first challenge is channel your inner Ansel Adams and send us a video game landscape. So send us your screenshots that look like nature photos.
I kind of like that.
Channel your Ansel Adams, possibly a little with a side of Bob Ross, and bring us some of those natural looking landscape photos. That's the first one. Don't vote yet. Second one. Additional idea. Here we go. In case you guys don't like the first idea, that's just part of the show notes. You don't actually have to read that. Okay, got it. Let's create some monsters in your favorite character creator. Make a protagonist that makes us sick. So if you want number one, channeling inner Ansel Adams.
So video game landscapes, or make a super ugly character in a character creator. Those are basically the ideas.
It looks like our chat room is saying 1, and I'm
so we have
with that.
1 so far. We'll let you guys.
4. Mousetrap, Captain Bones, Joshy Neurotic, and me. That's 4. Taz 1. See, I think.
There it is. Look at that groupthink.
Goodness.
That is what we like to call groupthink in social sciences.
All right.
Looks like we're going with choice 1.
Yeah. Channel your inner Ansel Adams.
Yeah.
Channeling your inner Ansel Adams.
So
send us a
screenshots that
screenshot.
look like nature photos, landscapes, that kind of thing.
That's great. You can certainly send us your Gamestack challenge photos on Twitter. All you got to do is type in the hashtag Gamestack challenge and tweet at We Just Love Games with a little caption, maybe a description of, I don't know, which video game it's coming from, or you can leave us to guess that. It's usually funner that way. So you can leave that for us on Twitter, and we will include it on the next show, which will probably be in 2 weeks' time, guaranteed. Yes, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
April 20th.
I was crossing my fingers, but it was off camera, so.
I was also crossing my fingers. That's so weird. Okay. Shall we move on to listener emails? Let's move on to listener emails. Shalene, why don't you take the first one?
Okay, this email is about Fallout. I was wondering if you guys had any ideas for Fallout MMO. I was re-listening to Elder Scrolls Off the Record, and they were talking about building the MMO and wanted to know if you had any ideas. Mine involved mixing Fallout 1, 2, and New Vegas's map into a huge region to explore. Set either after Fallout 4 or before 3 and New Vegas. Just a thought. Your faithful listener, Mousetrap. So, you guys have any ideas for a Fallout MMO?
I'm for it.
I have wanted a Fallout MMO for quite some time.
Yeah.
As long as it's nothing like Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be done a completely different way, and I don't know how they would do it. I don't even know if there's like an engine really built for that, but I would really like to see some sort of Fallout MMO. I mean, my concern is though that they're going to get into this thing of it like the whole, you know how like you have the settlements and stuff like that. Like I think that would kind of be frustrating because like if you log off, your settlement's vulnerable and all that jazz. And I hope that I don't know.
I think there would be a PvP PvE aspect.
Well, see, here's the thing. So you know, in some MMOs like like ESO, you have that PvE and then you have PvP areas. But like in a Fallout universe, that doesn't really work because everyone's a scavenger kind of thing.
Yes, so it is post-apocalyptic. That's right.
So it would be more like PvE in towns and settlements, you know, like walled settlements, but then like PvP the second you go outside, but then you got to worry about if people are like just waiting there at the door. I don't know how they would do it. There's a lot of logistics that you'd have to work out.
Yeah. I think that a Fallout MMO, I've said this before on podcasts, I think never on this particular podcast, but I think a Fallout MMO is inevitable. I think it's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised to hear it announced at E3 this year. I don't think I'll play it. Like, I'll of course give it a try because it's Fallout, but I have yet to enjoy an MMO. And I think that if they did make a Fallout MMO, I think it would be very similar to Elder Scrolls Online. I think it would be very similar, and I don't think I would enjoy it. I really don't.
Let me ask you guys this: what do you think about what do you think's more practical, a co-op Fallout or a MMO Fallout?
I think something like The Division could work. Something that's a more co-op experience.
Did you guys know that there is a free Fallout MMO online already called Fallout Online Reloaded?
That can't be official.
No, it's certainly not official. I mean, you can play it if you like being repeatedly kicked to death while being yelled at in Russian. But well, take my vodka.
That was kind of like Yiddish mixed with Russian, so I don't.
It is fan made. They don't receive any revenue, and there are no microtransactions. It's just for fun. Its gameplay and leveling are nearly identical to Fallout 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is it ISO?
All of the original brainy dark humor is intact, though. And for all of those who may be Mac users, Fallout 1 and 2 did not run on Mac, so this will probably need some sort of boot camp or emulator.
Yeah.
So it basically runs off the merge of Fallout 1 and 2 kind of placed together. So, yeah.
Is it an isometric?
I don't know. I've never played it, so yeah. It's like basically like Dota 2, but they have like...
I also predict that it will be
It
set previous to Fallout 3. I think it will be earlier than Fallout 3 on the timeline.
Really?
I do, yeah.
Why?
I just have that feeling. You know, I have the precognitive sense that it will be before Fallout 3.
Is that because ESO was before like some of the Elder Scrolls games?
I'm not very knowledgeable about Elder Scrolls lore.
Okay. And by the way, that Fallout Online Reloaded is an ISO, and no thanks, because you know how well I liked those.
Yeah, it launched like 4 years ago, so...
Yeah.
Well, at least someone out there is trying.
Yeah, it's cool, but they probably got sued, so...
Yeah. So
although it's in Russia, so...
Yeah, I do think that it is inevitable that we'll get a Fallout MMO, and I think it's gonna, like, break my heart. I do. So...
Well...
Do you want me to take the next email?
I do.
Okay. Greetings, team. Longtime fan of Fallout OTR and have somewhat followed your podcast for some time. It's good
somewhat?
To have
Excuse me?
We're gonna need you to churn that somewhat into I got nothing.
Hey, maybe they did later on in the email that you interrupted me from reading.
Okay, well, let's continue.
See if
okay, you have one chance to redeem yourself.
Let's see if they vindicate themselves. So it's good to have the three of you on one show now. I heard on one of the casts a mention about stocks. I think that it's a fantastic idea. I'm currently invested in several tech and video game corporations, Activision, Blizzard, AMD, and Oracle, to name a few. Definitely a good idea for podcasts about video games and good for the conscience of your viewers. Just writing in to let you all know I enjoy the show and hope all goes well. Looking forward to more safe adventures. See, he's listening to us now currently, so...
Okay.
Well, thank you, Justin.
Let's check in on my EA stock.
I sold my 2 stocks, by the way.
While we're here.
I just bought stock in Tesla.
Yeah.
So, actually, no. Yes, Tesla.
My EA stock is currently worth
kinda
$118.31.
So it went down a bit.
It did go down quite a bit. Quite a bit. My overall portfolio has dropped by about $10.
Well, for any of you who have invested in Facebook, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's over.
Yeah, actually, the stock market overall took a very big hit this week. Tech is up. Pot stocks, whew. Pot stocks are down, guys. My stock
Stock
dropped like
pots,
$5.
however.
They went up in smoke.
Oh no. I'm gonna buy stock before the next show in some video game company.
Yes.
Maybe Rare.
I want a reissue of the Gong Show, but only I want Snoop Dogg as the host, and I want it to be called the Bong Show.
Well, I keep telling. So I know a few of the board of directors on Aurora Cannabis, and I keep telling them, I'm like, you guys got to have a podcast and call it Potcast.
I'm sure podcast
I'm
is
sure
a
that
thing.
exists.
There
man.
is no
I
way there's
know.
not a podcast. I hope it's a cooking show.
It's the new world, you guys. Don't you just want to become a professional bud tender?
A what?
A professional bud tender. You grow.
Bud.
Yeah,
Bud.
that's actually never crossed my mind. Actually,
No,
that's,
I don't have a green thumb. Anyway,
Jesus.
I have a new segment that I'm going to introduce right now.
Okay. A new
And
segment.
It's a new segment. And I was thinking about this, and I thought it would be kind of fun because there's always like cool stuff that I want to share. And it's nothing crazy, but it's always little oddities I find here and there. And I'm going to call it Rick's Picks. And it's just going to be at the end of the show, just real quick, a little shout out to like something I found. If you guys are okay with it, just like either it's going to be something consumable, so either video or music. Is that okay? Or a game?
Well, I guess it is. Yeah, it's fine.
glad we talked about this.
Glad we talked about this on the show. Yeah.
No, it's just real quick. I found this and I thought some of our listeners, including your vendor, would like this. And I was going to mention it, but then I was like, there's so much stuff out there I want to like talk about. Anyway, go out and check out the artist C.W. Stone King. If you've heard of him, you'll know. If you haven't, it's amazing. Think like 1930s era blues, but almost like dark and scary. It's absolutely amazing. So check out C.W. Stone King and his latest album, Gone Boogaloo, on vinyl and also streaming on Spotify. It's pretty awesome.
That's great. Also, for those of you in the chat and those of you who play Sea of Thieves, I'm going to share my Sea of Thieving playlist that I spent an entire workday making after the first time I played Sea of Thieves. I wasted a whole workday. My boss, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I'll make up for it on Saturday. I made an entire playlist for playing Sea of Thieves, and it's fantastic.
That's awesome.
So do enjoy it.
Awesome.
I think that's a show, guys.
We gotta check the GoFundMe.
Yes. Do
What
we
are we
have
at?
we have any takers? We are at it's like
$5.
really? No way.
Oh goodness! I can't believe somebody actually donated to this.
Don't know who that
GoFundMe.
was.
Oh,
Wow, so this
goodness.
is a real thing then. We have to
Wow.
see this through to
Okay.
the end.
Okay, guys, let's. Okay, that
So,
happened.
if any of you want to contribute to Rick's GoFundMe, all you have to do is follow the link that's been reoccurring in the chat and get rid of that horrible, horrible noise. Before you get rid of that chair, Rick, though, you got to make a sound clip of it so that we can just like cue it when we need it.
Wow.
Soundboard of squeaks.
Yes, we'll add it to Shalene's Stream Deck. It'll be
It's gonna be
great. Put a little picture of the chair on there. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, do you guys have any plugs or announcements before we sort of head out here?
Nope.
So if people want to send us an email, we love getting emails. Like the last two that we talked about just now really sparks some really great conversation. If you want to send us an email, all you got to do is send it to info@wejustlovegames.com. That's info, I-N-F-O, at wejustlovegames.com. If you want to find us on Twitter, you can do so by finding us at the network account at We Just Love Games. You can find Shalene at Shalene L. You can find Rick at Rick McVick, and you can find myself at Vendertron N. We also have a Facebook group, facebook.com/We Just Love Games. We also have that's our Facebook page, but we also do have a Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/We Just Love Games. Although judging by how Facebook is plundering, we might not have that group for very much longer. We also have a Discord. If you guys would like to join us there, you're welcome to do so. All you got to do is send us a personal message, and we will make sure you get the link so that you can hang out in the Discord. Perks of hanging out in the Discord: you get entered into draws to win free games and other things like that, firsthand information on show events and other things, and you get to hang out with us in real time all the time.
Yeah, it's
which is
probably the place where
love.
we interact the most frequently.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. We do live recordings at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is really the time that doesn't matter all that much, at twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. We are also on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher Radio. So please like, subscribe, and review. Remember, guys, 5 stars, not 4, 5. And do you guys have any final words?
No, actually.
Thanks for listening.